You're listening to Robin Flan's Drummer Interviews, the number one drum radio show in all of Los Angeles,
the world, the galaxy.
Hi, it's Robin Flans with Robin Flans Drummer Interviews, and I'm here with my partner in crime, Ed Eblin.
Yes, I'm the only other one that's here.
Yeah, because...
So far.
Because, well, our legendary drummer is late.
And that's okay, because these things happen from time to time. Plus, it's Crazy NAMM Week, and Liberty is in New York. Correct?
Yes.
And you said he wasn't coming out till tomorrow, I think.
Well, and here he is.
Hang on.
Here he is. Liberty.
Yes, it's me.
We're on the air live because you're 2 minutes late.
Well, things move slower here on the East Coast.
That's right.
I thought it was faster in New York.
Oh, it is. It's actually tomorrow already.
So I'm going to intro you, and you're going to be quiet for a minute. Because you're being punished because you were late.
Oh.
So.
Okay.
So talk about music that's been the soundtrack for our generation. We're talking about New York State of Mind, Moving Out, She's Always a Woman, Just the Way You Are, Only the Good Die Young, My Life, Big Shot, Honesty, You May Be Right, It's Still Rock and Roll to Me, Tell Her About It, Uptown Girl. Oh, God, I got to take a breath. An Innocent Man, and We Didn't Start the Fire, and I mean, oh, God, I can't breathe. Those are just a few that Liberty Devitto has given us or gave to us during his 30 years with Billy Joel. And that's just with Billy Joel. So thank you so much for being with us today, Liberty. Yes?
I'm glad I'm here. I'll tell you why I was 2 minutes late. When I say I'm having a baby, I'm not going to be a grandfather. I am going to be a father again.
Mazel tov!
Well, thank you. And the baby's due next month, beginning of next month. And the room that we're making into the baby's room has a draft under the air conditioning unit, the heating unit.
Uh-oh.
So I had to repair it. And I realized as I was repairing it, it was getting close to time.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I am a little late.
Family first, always. And I accept that as an excuse.
Okay.
So, God, having a baby. Whoa. Let me process that for a second.
Yeah, well, process it like this. Like, I have 3 other daughters.
I know they're gorgeous.
The oldest is 36, and the youngest is 28. Wow. And now there's going to be this infant. Wow. Aren't you lucky? I'm very, very blessed for this to be happening because I love kids. And back when the other girls were small, it was music. It was like, Daddy's leaving for 2.5 months. Get used to it, Yeah. Now I don't do that kind of thing anymore. So,
yeah. So now you get to really, really enjoy. I mean, not to say that you didn't enjoy it, but this will be a different experience. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, my girls turned out okay. I mean, I got a TV star.
Yes, I know. She's remarkable. I have watched her career, and she's just she's a dynamo. Yeah, she's wonderful.
Thank you.
So yeah, let's. I want to go back and talk to you about when the fire was lit under you, and the night you saw the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, and that light switch turned on.
Yeah, what happened was I always loved music. I used to listen to music all the time. my mother was a big music fan. She used to cut school to go see Frank Sinatra and stuff like that. And when I was a baby, I was in a one-room furnished apartment with my mom, and what she used to do, the apartment was so small they couldn't put a crib in there, so they would take the dresser, they take the top drawer, pull it out as far as it could go, take all the clothes out, and put blankets in there, and that was where I slept. and she said that on top of that dresser there was a radio that she played all the time, and that's what got me into music.
Wow.
So I always loved music, and I used to just fool around with the drums because my cousin sold my father a set of drums, and I used to fool around with them. But when I was in the 6th grade, I was in the school band, and I could not do the buzz roll in the Star Spangled Banner, that roll that goes all the way through. And the teacher said, "Put the sticks down, Devitto. You'll never do anything with the drum." So I was very discouraged. But then in February of '64, when my heroes came on TV, there I was watching the TV, and then they were in black and white. These 4 not that good-looking guys. And the thing that was amazing is when the camera went off the Beatles and panned the audience, all these girls were screaming for them. And I looked at my sister and her friends, and they were screaming at these not too good-looking guys at the black and white TV.
Well, that's your opinion. I thought they were damn good looking, but go ahead.
and I thought, okay, that's what I want to do. Forget about the buzz roll. I want to be in a band that makes girls scream.
So what did you do? I mean, how did you teach yourself?
Well, I still can't do a buzz roll. I still can't do that. But records became my books. And I would sit by my parents' stereo and put the record on. And the problem that I was having was when I was playing along with the song, how was I going to know where I was in the song? Because I couldn't write or read music or anything like that. So I learned the lyrics, and I would sing along with the song. And that's when I realized, wow, the drummer does a drum fill when he goes into a more exciting part of the song, like the chorus or the bridge, to take the band somewhere else. And I took that same thing into the studio with Billy.
Right.
And that's why I get called the songwriter's drummer.
Right.
I listened to Ringo religiously and how he built a song and how he fit in.
Right.
Sometimes people say, well, Ringo wasn't that good. You really don't notice him. Well, that's part of being great.
That's right. That's right. You don't have to make a mark. You just have to do the job. You have to do the thing. Yeah.
A friend of mine told me when I was playing once, he turned to me and he said, "You can make as much noise not playing as people do playing."
Oh, that's so true. That's
right.
right.
It's like, yeah. So that's how I learned. I listened to records.
So
I had a lot of heroes.
So what were the records that you were playing along with? I mean, aside from Beatles.
Oh, well, the first record that I really loved to play to, and because it has a little drum fill in it, a tom fill, was a song called Easier Said Than Done by the Essex. And I loved all that kind of stuff. I liked the South Philly stuff that the Orlines were doing, and the Bill Bells. I liked Dion. I loved listening to that stuff.
Right.
And then after the Beatles, I loved the J-Pop 5.
Oh,
I loved the Stones, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But being an Italian kid from New York and having kind of wavy hair and stuff, it was hard to relate to be a Beatle, right? They're from England. They have straight hair. They can do whatever they want with it, So then all of a sudden, this band called the Young Rascals come out.
Oh, yeah.
And 3 out of 4 of them are Italian.
Yeah.
It was like, whoa, this is fantastic.
Yep.
And they bumped the Beatles out of first place for a while.
I get it. Yep.
Yeah. So Dino Danelli was an amazing instructor to me as I listened to him.
Yeah.
That was one of the first concert I ever saw. I went to see the Rascals, who were opening up for the Byrds.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
It was amazing to see them live. I saw the Rascals many times live in the 60s.
Yep. They were my favorite American group. Absolutely.
Yep.
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 And
then from
still,
there,
yeah.
Yeah. Then from there was, you got into Cream and Hendrix. And,
Yep.
and I loved a lot of the other drummers like B.J. Wilson from Procol Harum. It's amazing how one drummer copies another drummer, and you really don't realize it until you ask them. When we did the tour, Billy Joel and Elton John, I was on that for 10 years. And I was sitting next to Nigel Olsson every night. And I used to listen to Nigel's stuff, and you can hear it on when he does "Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me." He rides on his ride cymbal in the first verse, and I do that in honesty. The same thing. So I asked him. I said, "How am I doing as a student of Nigel Olsson?" He said, "You're doing great." And I said, "Who did you listen to?" And he said, "The drummer from the Hollies." What was his name?
Oh gosh. Who?
No, I'm just thinking.
Yeah. Steve. I feel like it's a Steve somebody.
Well,
God.
whoever that is,
Yeah.
you listen to him, and he said, the triplet roll that's in "Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me" at the end when it goes da 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 da. Don't let the sun. He said, "I stole that from B.J. Wilson of Procol Harum."
Wow. Yeah, I mean, everybody, that's what drummers, all musicians do, is they take, it's a stew.
Good drummers borrow, but great drummers steal. I told, the little roll, Still Rock and Roll to me is in a shuffle, and then my drum fill is in a straight 4 feel. And I told Alan White, because he played on Instant Karma, I said, I stole that straight 4 feel in a shuffle from you. And all he did, he put his hand out like I had to give him money.
we just looked it up. The Hollies drummer is Bobby Elliott.
Bobby Elliott, right.
Yep.
Great drummer.
Yep. So, a lot of people think, or, many people who aren't historians probably think that you were Billy's first drummer.
No.
But that's not the case.
Not the case. Nope. Well, Billy was using studio people.
Right.
He on Piano Man and Streetlight Serenade, it was Ron Tutt who played with Elvis Presley.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And then you became Reese Clark.
Reese Clark played live with
Right.
Billy, and he played on the record Captain Jack.
And then you became the guy when, as the story goes, he decided he wanted a more New York type aggressive player.
Yes, I like to think of it as I'm the guy that made Billy Joel rich.
And he should thank you for that.
Yeah, well, so
yeah.
So
it's funny. It's funny that you say that I'm not the first drummer. I made a list once, and I don't know what happened to it, of all the drummers that are famous for being in the bands that they're in, but they weren't the drummer that played on the first hit. Like I didn't play on Piano Man.
Right.
Max Weinberg did not play on Born to Run.
Right.
Ringo Starr did not play on Love Me Do.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
and
right.
Nigel Olsson did not play on Your Song.
That's right. Interesting. That's interesting. I like that. That's interesting. A bit of trivia.
Yeah.
So what was that first meeting like?
With Billy?
Yeah.
Well, I knew Billy, to say hi. We used to play. He was in the Hassles. I was in a band called the New Rock Workshop, and we used to play in a club on Long Island called the My House. I was 17, he was 18, and we just pass each other and say hi. But the first one to get the gig, we had a band called Topper.
Right.
Russell Jabbers, Doug Stegmeyer, and Howie Emerson. And we were doing all original material and playing reggae and all that kind of stuff. And Doug got the gig to play bass with Billy on the Street Life Serenade tour. On that tour, Billy told Doug, I want to move out of LA and back to New York. At the time, Billy was using the studio guys to record and Reef and the band to play live.
Right.
He said, I want the same band to record with me and go on the road.
Right.
And that's when he said, and I want a New York style drummer. And Doug looked at him and said, you know the guy already. So I had to go audition for Billy. And I learned Street Life and I learned Piano Man, all those songs. And then he said, I'm going to make another album and I'm writing these songs. What would you play on these songs? And he was kind of amazed at how fast I came up with stuff and how fast I knew the songs. He didn't know for 25 years that Doug had given me a tape of all the new stuff that he was going to do.
But was that the music for Turnstiles?
That was the music for Turnstiles.
Because then he went off to Caribou and recorded it with Elton's band.
Exactly, because he was on Columbia Records and Jimmy Guercio was house producer for Columbia.
Right.
So he did Chicago and all those bands. So they put him up. They put him with Elton's band, with Nigel and Dee Murray. And as a matter of fact, the story goes that when they were in the studio, because they had just got fired from Elton's band or something like that, and Elton sent them flowers in the studio and said, I heard you're playing with another piano player.
and so I guess it didn't feel right to him, and so he came back to New York and re-recorded it.
Yeah, he was actually doing those recordings in Manhattan with the band. But he fired Jim Guercio and came out to Long Island. And we went out to Ultrasonic Studios, which was on Long Island, where the Fudge recorded their albums and Blue Oyster Cult, all those bands used to record out there. And we recorded Turnstiles.
So when he approached his band and with what he had recorded already with Turnstiles, what did he say was lacking and that he wanted to change?
There wasn't any energy to the songs.
Okay.
You know, he wanted them more aggressive.
Okay.
Which, playing live, you know, we were much more aggressive than Elton's band. Even when we played together for the 10 years, I would always say that Elton's band they were better musicians than we were, but we were better entertainers than they are.
Got it.
You know.
Right.
So Billy wanted that edge.
Got it.
He got it. So we were in there, the three of us, me, Doug, and Billy, recording Turnstiles. We would record a song and listen back to it, and Billy would say, I need guitars on this. And me and Doug would say, well, we know guitar players. So Topper became Billy's band.
Okay.
And that's history.
Right. I got it. Okay. So you know what? We're gonna take a short commercial break, and during that time, you're not gonna talk, and I'm not gonna talk, and we're gonna just be quiet. So hang tight, and we'll be right back.
If you could design your own drum practice pad, what would it feel like? At ePad, our EnduraFlex practice surface was perfected to eliminate extreme bounce and unrealistic rebound. The benefits of ePad include quiet playing surface and shock-resistant properties that help reduce the risk of stress-related injuries. ePad offers the perfect feel and energy return for developing speed, endurance, and control. You will meet the challenge of the weaker hand with ePad. Warm up with our knee pads, tabletop practice pads, Warming up on E-pads provides a natural transition from practice pad to drum set. At E-pad, we know the need for speed, control, and endurance. Get your chops together with E-pad's EnduraFlex playing surface. Practicing with E-pads builds your finger, wrist, and forearm strength and helps you gain better control and endurance. Into feel? Well, E-pads replicate the response and feel of a real drum. Our Pro Deluxe knee pad is portable, convenient, and lightweight. Perfect for the beginner, intermediate, or pro touring drummers. Find out why our products are a must-have. E-pad, your source for high-quality drum set practice pads and accessories.
You're listening to Robin Flan's Drummer Interviews on Spreaker.com.
Be sure to check those pads out at epadco.com. That's epadco.com. And by the way, Liberty, because you were late, I didn't have a chance to introduce you to my producer and partner in crime, Ed Eblin.
Hi, Liberty.
And
Hi, Ed. How are you?
Good. I asked Robin to do that, so if I asked you any questions, you wouldn't think it was some sort of a religious experience you were having.
yeah, some alien voice coming from
voice from nowhere,
from outer space. So,
You're like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah, exactly.
So, anyway, we're back with Liberty, and so I want to know, from Turnstiles on, so how did the creative process develop in the band, and what started going on in the studio?
The best part now, Turnstiles is done. We're on tour. Turnstiles sells 50,000 copies. And Columbia Records now is going to give Billy one more shot.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Yeah, one more shot.
On probation.
And, so he was looking for a producer. Well, we hear that George Martin, Beatles producer, is coming to hear us.
Whoa.
Great. So we were all excited. Oh, my God, this is going to be so good. He's going to produce the album. He produced the Beatles. Look what he did for them. Unbelievable. This is going to be great. He's so good at what he does. Blah, blah, blah. We play. George Martin hears us, tells Billy after the show. Billy comes back into the dressing room. He says he wants to produce me.
Oh,
great. But he doesn't want to use, he wants to use some studio musicians. We were like, well, what did you do? He said, I told him no.
Whoa.
I turned him down. We all said, you know what? He hasn't done anything for the Beatles. What did he do? America? He hasn't done anything since then. He's the washed up husband.
It's over.
Oh, my God.
And then we played Carnegie Hall, and Phil Ramone came to hear us play.
Wow.
Phil loved the band.
Wow.
He loved the energy that the band had.
Right.
He just had to teach us he had to tame it to be in the studio.
Okay.
So
so what was that? Well, that's interesting. So what was the lesson he taught?
Well, let's say Moving Out. When we did Moving Out before we went into the studio, Billy wanted me to follow his piano lick. That thing. So I had to play a fill like boom, like that.
Yeah.
And Phil would walk around the room and just go boom, bah, boom, bah. And he looked at me and he says, "That's all people want to hear.
Okay.
That's it. You got to keep it like that."
Okay.
So he taught us how to play simple, how I need to make every note count.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the greatest instructor in the world, Dom Famularo, the greatest drums instructor in the world, he once compared me to John Bonham, and I had to kiss him on the lips for that because he said, the two of you guys, you play and make every single note that you play count.
Mm.
You don't do certain things because those notes don't count.
Mm.
And if you listen to Bonham, it is, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Or Ringo, when they do that kind of, every note counts.
Right.
And Phil showed us that
Interesting.
you have to do that.
Wow. So that was so fortuitous that Phil came into your lives. That's wonderful. Okay. So, I love the Only the Good Die Young story. I mean, for those who may not have heard it, would you please tell it?
What part do you love?
Well, the fact that basically you molded the feel and...
Oh, that part. I thought you were like we were on the road doing turnstiles, and Billy writes this song, and he comes running up to me, knowing that he grew up Jewish, I grew up Catholic, and he comes running up to me. He plays me this song, and it was a reggae song first, right? He played it like a reggae on the guitar. He was playing it.
Yep.
And I'm hearing this Catholic girls, Catholic, they do it all wrong, whatever, And after it was over, I looked at him, I go, "Oh, come on, Billy, you can't say that."
Yeah, not in public anyway.
But yeah, I'd rather dance with the sinners and cry with the saints. So, like, oh my God, what are we getting ourselves into? So,
can I interject something real quick? There's a friend of mine I went to high school with. When that album came out and the song you're talking about, and they were pretty religious Catholics, and she had bought that album. And her father heard the song, and I got it. Didn't go well. He broke the album. She was punished.
Oh my God!
Yeah, just something positive.
We go in the studio to record the song. We're doing it as a reggae song, and I'm like, "This sucks. It sucks." And so, I told Billy, I said, "The closest you've ever been to Jamaica is Jamaica, Queens, where you change trains for the Long Island Railroad." So then I play this brushes, this brush feel that I ripped off from Mitch Mitchell from the Jimi Hendrix group. The beginning of the drum fill in the beginning of Only the Good Die Young is like from Up from the Skies by Jimi Hendrix, and then it goes into that swing thing Up from the Skies goes into.
Right.
So the similarity is amazing if you listen to both of them. But then the record came out, and it was bombing because it came out after, Just the Way You Are and Moving Out had already been out. So, but the Catholic diocese all of a sudden said, ban that record. That record's banned, not good. You tell a college kid something's banned, they're like, what's banned? What do you mean I can't listen to that? I'm going to buy it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Right up the charts.
Stock up.
That is amazing. Well, thank you to the Catholics.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, that was very controversial back then, man. I couldn't believe how many people had I grew up in a Catholic neighborhood too, and I was at church on Sunday, but that was that song and that album was not welcome sometimes. Although it was great,
No.
I loved it, but
it might have reached number one if he didn't say that about the Catholic people. It only made it to number 2 on the chart.
Really? Oh man.
Yeah, you know what? You want to see how you date yourself? Watch this. You know what kept it out of number 1?
What?
Saturday Night Fever.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay.
And doesn't Saturday Night Fever seem like it's so long ago?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well,
Saturday Night Fever when I grew up was just a cold, but I guess we're
right.
So what were some of the more creative recordings for you? And can you talk about how they may have come about?
Well, let's see. Stranger, we used to drive in from Long Island, and sometimes Billy would have like a little demo of the song. So the Stranger was written. They have the little organs that used to have the percussion stops on them.
Oh yeah.
And you could have a bossa nova, or you could have a rumba, or something.
Yeah.
Well, he accidentally pressed 2 buttons down, and it made this weird thing. And so he played it, the tape for us of The Stranger. He had the whole song written, but he had that really weird thing going on. So we just straightened it out and then into what you hear on the record, you know. So that was fun. What else is? I don't even know what else is on that album. Oh, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant we were doing live before we even went in the studio. That's one that Phil heard and said, "That's great. I'm not even going to touch it."
Wait, which one?
You guys, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant.
Oh, okay.
We started out just playing the Brenda and Eddie part. You know, the quick part.
Right.
And then Billy wrote all this other stuff around it. So that's how that one came together.
Okay.
But on the other albums, like Zanzibar.
Yeah, any of them.
On 52nd Street, there's a song Zanzibar.
Right.
It was just a straight pop song, and before he had the lyrics. But then when he wrote, I got a jazz guitar, and I got it became this thing that we could go and play a jazz solo, you know? So we broke into this jazz thing, and Freddie Hubbard played trumpet on it.
Wow. Okay.
Which was amazing to us because, you know, we were rock pop drummers.
Right.
But you know what? For 2.5 years before Billy, you know, when I was like 20 years old, I played weddings for 2.5 years. And that was probably the best education I could have gotten because I had to learn all different kinds of things.
Of course.
I remember the first day I went to play a wedding, I had to sit in for a friend of mine who kept insisting I play weddings. I didn't want to do it. My hair was down, you know, all the way down past my shoulders and stuff like that. And he said, "Look, I put you on a gig. You can't not go now. You have to go." He lent me his tuxedo. I went, and I'm sitting there. Now, I had played with Mitch Ryder when I was 18 years old. I did a tour with Mitch. And so I was the rock guy.
Right.
I'm sitting there. I got this dumb tuxedo on. My hair is down past my shoulders. And the guys in the band, there was an accordion player, a trumpet player, and a sax player. That's all. And they were like, they seemed old to me then. They were probably in their late 40s, early 50s.
Oh, gosh. Well, that's
and
old.
I'm thinking, how the hell are they going to play? You know, I thought I'm destroying my career right now. It's over. This is over for me. I'm a rock guy. I went on a road with Mitch Ryder.
Yep.
Well, the trumpet player turns around and he says to me, "For the first song, the bride wants a merengue." I looked at him and went,
"What's a merengue?
What the hell is a merengue?"
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What'd you do?
I kind of faked it because, you know, they started a little bit first.
Oh, God.
You know,
You
I
just
faked my way through it. And then there was all that kind of stuff. Oh, yeah, we played Sinatra songs. We were playing cha-chas.
Yeah.
We were playing ethnic songs, you know.
everybody should play weddings and bar mitzvahs. I believe that.
Yes. So when we got in the studio, and people always say, "How did you come up with that brush and stick part for Just the Way You Are?" Well, that was easy because, you know, you would play a bossa nova with a brush and a stick.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
you know, it was a great education.
Yeah.
It really is, because a lot of times when you're doing those gigs, like those casual gigs and stuff like that, and a band leader will turn around to you and they'll call a song that you probably heard a million times on the radio and go, "Oh, God, I can't wait. This is going to be great." And it was a song, it was the Al Jarreau, "We're in This Love Together." That was an Al Jarreau tune, right?
Right.
I think Gad
yes.
played drums. And, you know, I as I remember the song, it was sort of like hip-hop-ish, shuffle-ish kind of thing happening. But he turned around and said, "Just play a straight disco groove." It's like, what? What's that? You're trying to calculate this in your head. How are you going to play it so that it sounds good? But, I mean, that's part of the education that goes with those casual gigs. It really does sort of twist your mind into different places about these things. So,
yeah.
But I'm glad you made it out alive, man. That's great.
I made it out alive, and there's a lot of wedding bands around. My wife, as a side job, she's an event planner, and she does weddings and stuff like that. She did Paul McCartney's party and things like that. But when she does weddings, and she tells me how much these bands get.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's unbelievable. When I was doing it, we were making $35 a wedding.
Well, come on. I mean, Paul McCartney's party is a little bit different than Joe Schmo's. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
$35 a pop, and that was union wage. I had to join the union for that.
Oh my goodness!
Were you always in New York, Liberty? You grew up there, gigging there and everything.
I grew up on Long Island.
Oh, Long Island. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
It seems like back then, though, even though the pay might have been lower, but the dollar went further. I sound like one of my parents now, but it's true.
You do. Let me tell you something. After those weddings, I had a '57 Chevy that was, this is 1972, and I'm driving a '57 Chevy. The air filter's off. Every time I press on the gas, it just sucks air in. It sounds like, this weird thing coming down the street. I go to my friends who have a top 40 band. There's a bass and guitar. They play in clubs. Weren't that good, but they were fun. The name of the band was called Blue Hair, and I said, "You guys need a drummer? I need to make some money, some real money." Let me tell you something. They worked 6 nights and 1 afternoon every week.
Wow.
They took 2 weeks. They took 2 weeks off in February. I had a stack of bills in my drawer, but I went out and I bought a 1974 Bronco.
Whoa.
The Ranger package, the high-end package, for $4,800, brand new off the floor.
Oh my God, $4,800! You can't get a studio apartment for that out here.
Wow!
$4,800! Oh my God!
Yeah, brand new, midnight blue metallic.
Wow! Wow!
You still have it, right?
No, I wish.
Yeah,
I wish.
right. So let's go back for a second. So during the 30 years of this wonderful period of time, what were some of the highlights for you?
Well, definitely, there was 2 that were huge. One was in 1979. We went to Havana, Cuba, and we played there. It was called the Havana Jam. Columbia Records did it as an exchange event with the Cuban government, and 150 Americans went. It was 5 days of music at the Karl Marx Theater.
Wow.
The first band to go on was Weather Report.
Wow.
And we were the last band to go on because we were the most popular band because it's only 80 miles from Miami. They could get Miami radio.
Wow. Wow.
But the thing that was amazing about it was we had to go to every show because you couldn't hang out in Havana at the time.
Right, sure.
So we would sit at every show, and we watched the people. And the Weather Report started, and they started with a fog machine. And as the fog came off the end of the stage, the people started to run to the back of the arena. They had no idea what it was.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Well, they thought it was an assault of some kind?
Poisonous gas.
Yeah, exactly. God. Let's put everybody to sleep for the next band.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
But it was great. I count myself fortunate to actually have seen Jaco Pastorius to play bass.
Oh, wow.
And
wow.
There was so many people. Bonnie Bramlett went, and who else? Stephen Stills was there. And,
wow.
Tons of people. It was
great
really
event.
good.
Yeah. And the other highlight?
The Soviet Union.
Oh, my. Of course.
I stood, not that the wall is down, I stood next to a piece of it that was in a museum, and I was looking at it and thinking, wow, I was on the other side of that for a while.
Yeah. Wow.
Which was really bizarre. And it gave me a different insight on just life itself. When you're standing in a country that you think hates us, the people hate you, and they really didn't. They loved us. And you look at the sky and you go, "Where's the same sky that's over us? What are we fighting about? What the hell?"
Oh,
you know?
yes.
Yep.
Oh, yes. Sometimes I look at the moon and I think we're all looking at the same object. What the heck is all of this? Yeah, I think the same thing. Yep.
Yeah. I look at the moon and I think, wow, Ralph Crandon must have hit Alice really hard to get her up there.
Yeah. What a long way.
Well, on that note, we are going to take another short commercial break, and we will be right back. Hi, this is Robin Flans from Robin Flans Drummer Interviews. Please be sure to check out robinflansdrummerinterviews.com, where you can find some of my classic interviews, such as Jeff Porcaro, Vinnie Colaiuta, Ringo Starr, and Carlos Vega, and many, many more. Again, that's robinflansdrummerinterviews.com. And I said it would be short. We're back with Liberty Devitto. And I just want to say thanks to so many new Facebook friends in the last week, like Lee and Derek and Patty and John. And I hope you're listening today. And and Lib, John Frondelli says hi.
Yeah.
And I hope everybody's going to go to my website and explore those classic interviews. It's just great listening. It's cool to hear the legends speak instead of reading it flat on the paper. And I want to broach the topic if we can. So can you talk about the how and why you were let go after being a piece of the fabric of that music?
Well, I signed a paper that says I'm not supposed to.
I had a feeling that you did. So what can you say?
I can say that it wasn't very nice. I mean, I did learn about it after I heard that Billy was going on tour, and I didn't know anything about a tour. Mm-hmm. In this business, you're not really fired. You're just not asked to do the next thing. So it was kind of like that, and it was just not good. It was not good at all.
So I'm sure that you can answer this. How did it affect your life, and how did you get through that period?
Well, you're not the same person that you were the day before.
Yeah.
Like the day before, I was the drummer that played with Billy Joel, and then the next day I wasn't him anymore. But people are still treating you like you're that person. Like when he played Madison Square Garden on Nassau Coliseum, I would get all the calls, or people would write me on an email like, "Hey, you're coming to Louisville, Kentucky. Let's hook up." But no, I don't do that anymore. I don't do it anymore. And what I did for 30 years, I wasn't doing anymore. It was like.
And how did that make you feel?
It was like having a regular job and going to your job. Not only did you find out that you don't have that job anymore, but the building is gone too, and there's nothing that resembles what was there.
Yeah.
What happened was I got really depressed. I mean, I get depressed because when it happened to Doug Stegmeyer, he actually killed himself because he just couldn't deal with it. He couldn't deal with the fact that he was the bass player, Doug.
Oh, bass player. Okay. Wow.
And he just couldn't deal with the fact that somebody else was playing the parts that he created. And so he was such a part of Billy, that was really hard.
I don't think I realized that he killed himself.
No.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he shot himself in his studio.
Oh,
it was terrible.
God. Oh, my God, Liberty, I didn't realize that.
And everybody says, who's to blame for it and stuff like that. Well, nobody's to blame. Doug did what he did to himself. We all could have been nicer to him, I mean, I can remember Doug used to call me because he was cut and I still had the gig. And he used to call me up and we'd be talking, how's it going, how you doing? And I'd say, yeah, I'm doing okay. Everything's good, a little tough. I got to pay some bills. And then he'd go, yeah, well, you still got your fucking, can I say that?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not a
you
problem.
still got your fucking gig, and I don't have the gig anymore, and and he used to be like that on the phone. So one time he calls me up, and I let the answering machine answer it, and I'm just listening to him talk, and that was the last time I heard his voice.
Oh God, Liberty, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we all could have done so much more for
No,
Doug.
you can't. It just somebody full of that much pain. It's not on you. It's just not on you.
Yeah. So I mean, after it happened a few times, I could feel Doug tapping me on the shoulder. Like, whoa. But I have. Doug had a dog and a girlfriend. His mother's still alive, but I have kids, and
Right.
I was with the women that I'm married to now, and they were made me strong.
Right.
And,
Of
then,
course.
Yes, and then I spoke to a lot of people in the business. I spoke to Pat Brown. What should I do? From Pomark, and I spoke to Sabian guys, and I remember one of them telling me. They said, you know what? You have to stop saying that you were formerly the drummer for Billy Joel. No, this is who you were. You were the guy that Billy Joel chose to help him make those hit records and unforgettable tours.
That's
Yeah,
right.
That's who you are.
Absolutely.
That's right. You made that music.
And then when he said that, it was like, all right, yeah, that's who I am.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I had the just as bitter. I hated Billy Joel tribute bands. I hated everything. It took like 12 years of a life coach to talk me down.
Yeah, no, I get it. I so get it. No,
Yeah.
I know.
But I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it now. I mean, we put together the Lords of 52nd Street. It's myself, Richard Cannata, and Russell Javers. I mean, the only one out of that mix that's missing is Doug Stegmeyer.
Of course.
In his will, Doug left me one of his basses that he used on the bridge tour, and
Wow.
I let Malcolm, the bass player in this Lords, he plays it every night. So
Wow.
Doug's kind of like there with us,
Oh wow! And you play the tunes.
Yeah, we play the tunes, and people are saying it's the best way to hear Billy Joel songs these days.
And it's and now you've sort of come full circle where you have pride in that music. I mean, you probably hated it for a while.
Oh, I did. I couldn't listen to it.
Yeah.
It was made me sad rather than happy.
Of course.
But now, it's I got to explain. When I said to my life coach, I said, I can't stand these tribute bands. What the heck's going on? She goes, they're recognizing and praising the stuff that you did.
That's right.
Yeah, of
That's
course.
doing.
That's right. That's right.
So
It's music that's brilliant that you.
And it's a tribute to you, too.
That's
I mean,
right. It's a total tribute to the music that you created. So
yeah,
you.
it's funny now. They some reviewers will call the Lords of 52nd Street. They're a tribute band. The other night we played at this place called Havana down in New Hope, Pennsylvania, and I said on the microphone, I said, I think it would be pretty much an egotistical maniac if I was being in a tribute band and paying tribute to myself, because everything I'm playing, I played on that record.
Yep. Yeah, it's music you made. It's music that you created. So it's.
Yeah. When Richie plays that solo in Cecil Italian Restaurant, that's the one that's on the record.
Yeah. Yeah. It's and that's really cool because people can hear it from the horse's mouth.
And not only that, but Liberty, was it the first album that you were on? I always thought, a lot of my drummer friends too always thought this was one of the coolest things. But Liberty was actually wearing a wristwatch around his ankle.
Oh God!
What was that? What album cover was that? I always thought, I said, boy, this guy's he's on the edge. Look at him. He's wearing a. But we're kids. We're kids.
There's things that you do in a moment that will haunt you for the rest of your life.
No, it was a cool thing, man. No, everything was back then. I mean, it was just so edgy. It's like
picture on the sleeve. If you can picture it in your head, what it looks like.
Oh, sure, yeah.
We were posing in the sleeve, just the band, and the photographer who took the picture said, "You guys are the most boring guys I have ever photographed." he said, "Can't you do something different?" I went, "Okay." And I took my wristwatch off and I put it around my ankle.
That's hysterical. And it's still being talked about today.
Still being talked about.
Not in Catholic
Brown,
homes, but yeah.
Yeah. David Brown, who is sitting in the chair in the front, he played guitar. His shoes were so filthy, they had to airbrush out all the dirt that was on the paper that we were walking on.
Oh,
and
man.
it was so boring that when they sent it to Billy in the studio while we were making glass houses, he thought, okay, he took the grease pencil that you mark the board with, and
right.
that's where he wrote all our names, you know.
How cool. See, it's always weird when you're the consumer, when you're buying the product. It goes through your head. I mean, you probably did this too, and I'm 59 at this point. But I read all the album credits. I read if there was any reference to what drum companies, was sponsoring and that kind of thing. And when you look at a picture, you're sort of saying that the photo just happened the way it did, just out of somebody said it's boring, and you just adapt. But those of us that would buy that stuff always thought there was sort of this massive, talked about, planned out, scheduled, rehearsed kind of thing. And here you are saying, I just did it.
Well, that's why we ask these important questions.
No, it has to do. It's scientifically that I am a timekeeper and I keep time with my foot, and that's why I wear a watch on my ankle.
So I got to ask a serious question. Have you and Billy ever spoken since?
No.
No.
Well, there was lawyers on each side of the table, but that was the only time.
Yeah.
But you never know. I mean, I love the guy. We were together for 30 years.
Yep.
We made beautiful music together.
Yep.
We went places that our wives could never go, and if he called and things were good, let's do it again. I don't care,
Yeah. Yeah.
But who knows? I mean, the Eagles got back together.
That's true. You never know. And that would be
you
full
never
circle.
know.
That
You
would be
just
full
don't
circle.
ever know. And so, okay, so we're going into NAMM, and you're going to be playing with Hal Blaine for Ronnie Spector at 6:00 Saturday night.
I am playing the show with Ronnie Spector, and Hal is coming up to play "Be My Baby" with us.
Okay,
which
so
he
you're playing a
which he
whole
recorded in
okay.
the 60s.
You're playing a whole show with Ronnie.
I'm playing the whole show, yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize there was a whole show. Okay, so how cool is that? I mean, how cool is that?
Well, like I said, Hal Blaine, I love the man, and I was a little disappointed when I found out he was 8 of my favorite drummers at one time.
Yep.
But I love him, and it's going to be such an honor to sit next to him playing at the same time. Yeah. I had played "Be My Baby" once for him while he was watching.
Wow.
But to actually play it with him and see how it really goes.
Wow.
That's exciting.
So that's going to be at 6:00 in front of on the main stage in front of the convention center for anybody who wants to be there. Everybody should go. And I just I think it's I'm so happy that you came on with us today, Liberty, and I'm excited that I get to see you at the NAMM show.
Yes, so we see each other all the time.
At
NAMM.
Once a year. Yeah. At NAMM, and I'm going to do a little video with you for my website. You didn't know that until this moment, but you are. And
bring your watch.
Yeah.
And I really want to thank you for being with us today. And you're off the hook now. But I want everybody else to stay with us. So
and make sure people go to see the Slim Kings on Facebook. My band, the Slim Kings.
Absolutely.
On Facebook. That's all original material we do. And the Lords of 52nd Street. Go check out. There's some videos of us doing Billy songs.
Oh, the Slim Kings. That's right. You have your own. That's the other band.
Yes, the other band.
You keep yourself darn busy.
I'm tired.
And you hooked up with. Oh, and I wanted to say you hooked up with this Liberty Drums.
Liberty Drums, yes. Liberty Drums. I'll be at Liberty Devitto will be at Liberty Drums booth.
So is that a direct? Are you? Oh, you're involved as an endorsee for Liberty Drums.
Yes.
I gotcha. Okay, because I wondered about that too. I saw that. I go, does he have his own drum company too? But...
No, that would be cool, but no, I'm not that foolish.
Yeah.
But that's very cool. So so we can find you at Liberty Drums too.
Yeah, I'll be jumping around Liberty Drums, Pro Mark Evans, Fabian, and the Sessions.
Oh,
the Sessions booth,
right?
With the Sticks and Skin book, that whole thing.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so we're going to see you at NAMM, and
congrats on being a dad again.
Yes,
thank you.
That's
Thank
exciting.
you.
And
that's very exciting.
And thank your wife for letting us take you away for the hour, and
yes.
and go fix that draft. And thank you so much for being with us, Lib. And we'll see you. We'll see you this week. Thank you.
Yes, you will.
Thank
Yes,
you,
will.
Lib,
Bye.
and everybody.
Okay.
Everybody, hang with us. We got some announcements to make. Yay!
All right. Bye.
Thank you, Liberty.
Bye.
And everybody else, we're off to NAMM this week, where I've been invited to sit on a panel by Florentino at Enter Talk Radio with John Robinson and others. And we'll be
and a lot of stuff. You've got interviews coming up. All these are video, by the way, and that's the thing about this. Even though this radio show is obviously audio, but we've got the YouTube channel that we're going to be uploading all of the interviews that Robin does at NAMM. And
there are going to be
lot of surprises.
Tons and tons of interviews. Last year I think we did 20. So just expect your favorite drummers to be with us, and
we're actually going to do that. And we bought a monopod for this event, so we're actually going to take some broad shots of the not shots of broads, but broad shots meaning pick up. Maybe that too. Who knows? But maybe just so you can
pardon.
Sort of like a drone view of what the NAMM, the drum hall looks like, and maybe you're going to talk to maybe a couple of companies and say hi, and so it's going to be fun. Looking forward to it. But all of that stuff you're going to be able to find at the Robin Flans Drummer Interviews on YouTube.
Yep. Just please come with us to the NAMM show. We're going to have a blast, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's just once a year, and we are stoked.
That we are.
So come on with us.